Okay. Well, hello everyone. Happy Friday. The weekend is almost here, but before we all check out, we got something way better lined up. And as you probably guessed, it's a midnight community call. And this one is a special version again. For anyone new here, welcome. Midnight is all about privacy, first blockchain, and zero knowledge technology, giving builders the tools to create powerful applications while keeping users' data private and secure. If you are in DeFi, identity, or real-world applications, you're in the right place. And today, it's all about ZK Identity Hackathon. For the past few weeks, developers have been pushing the boundaries of decentralized identity, authentication, and access control. And now, the finalists are here, ready to pitch their projects. As a community, this is your moment to support, hype them up, and celebrate their hard work. These builders have put it in the effort, and now they are stepping up to showcase what they created. Whether you are in the chat, dropping reactions, asking questions, or just sharing them on, your energy makes a difference. Also, a quick reminder, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel and turn on notifications. That way, you will never miss a live event, an update, or any new content we drop. And if YouTube isn't your thing, don't worry. We're also streaming live on Twitter and Telegram. So wherever you are watching from, we're glad you are here. And I think that's enough from me. Lauren, hello, how are you? So what is all ZK Hackathon is all about?
I'm great. Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name's Lauren. I lead our DevRel team here today at Shielded Midnight, and I'm going to tell you everyone about what the hackathon was in general. We called it the ZK Identity Hack, and we asked everyone participating to build a decentralized application that leverages ZK circuits to generate proofs for verifying aspects of any digital identity. We left that part open. The final submission, of course, needed to be a dApp that integrates both smart contracts and a user interface to meet the challenge requirements. We asked everyone to be sure that they connected to the Lace wallet and that they used compact language. We're really lucky because tonight we have an incredible group of judges, and I'm going to introduce it to some folks so that they can explain kind of what team they work on as well, so that those of you who are pitching tonight can know who you're speaking to. Kevin, because I just mentioned compact, can I ask you to start?
Sure. So my name is Kevin Milliken, and I work on what we call the architecture team. I'm primarily responsible for designing the compact programming language.
Awesome. Okay. And then David.
Hi, I'm David. I'm from the cryptography team, and we basically develop the libraries that go underneath compact to develop the ZK secrets.
Thank you for being here tonight. Nick.
Hey, I'm Nick. I'm part of the BD growth team, so director for BD and growth, and manage grants, partnerships, collaborations, and growing the Midnight ecosystem.
Amazing. Wonderful. Okay. And then Adam.
Yeah, hi, I'm Adam Reynolds. I'm the engineering manager. My focus is very much on the experience that developers are having to develop these dApps and really trying to make their lives easier.
Wonderful. And then we also have another judge who his name is Claude. He's on the developer relations team as an engineer, and he is judging as well, but will be watching the videos remotely. He's speaking at an event right now on behalf of Midnight. And then, of course, we also have Ahmed here. He's not judging because he's a little too close to the community, if you will. Ahmed is, of course, a member of our DevRel team and has been helping folks oh, hi, buddy. Has been helping the teams.
Mom.
Hey, bud. Has been helping teams as they've been building. Ahmed, do you want to say hi?
Hi, everyone. One of you probably already know me. But yeah, I'm Ahmed. I work in the DevRel team. I'm not judging like Lauren said, but I'm here to kind of like host this event and make sure everything goes smoothly. So I'm your host for today. And before we get started, actually, I would like to announce the next hackathon. So obviously this one I just ended today, and the new one will take place starting from Monday. It'll be for registration, and the theme around it is DeFi. So this is our first DeFi hackathon, which I'm really excited about, and I know the community is super excited about as well. Because every time I speak to someone, a lot of people in there have from like finance backgrounds or have worked in like DeFi Web3 applications. And so this is specifically made for you guys to bring your innovation to midnight. Now, the theme around DeFi is in particular around AMMs, automated market makers. And if you don't know what that is how you balance the price of an asset within a decentralized exchange, right? So the idea is we want to bring all the ZK capabilities and innovation that Midnight brings into the DeFi space with AMM. So for example, you could use it to hide various fields in the transactions, or hide who's providing the liquidity in the liquidity pools. However you want to do it, we're leaving that up to you again, the same way that in this hackathon, we left it up to you to decide what part of the digital identity that you want to hide. So we're really excited about that. The link, I will send it in Discord, and we'll have it in the website as well. So there's the link. But just wanted to get that out the way first, and then really excited to have you guys join the hackathon. I think this one's going to be a really cool one. So I'll hand you back to Lauren to go through the judging criteria, and then we'll get started with the presentation straight after that.
Yes, absolutely. So we should have the first team be on deck to go. But okay, I can explain how we're breaking this down tonight. Each category is worth 25%. The first one is technology, of course, and we ask whether or not the entrant utilized the technology accurately and whether or not they're tackling the problem in a complete manner, and whether or not it's using advanced programming techniques and integrating multiple components. Then we move on to innovation and wondering about the creativity of the project. We left this one pretty open, so we're really excited to see how people interpreted identity, if you will. And then completion, to what extent does the project deliver a functional solution within this month that we gave y'all to hack? And then lastly, documentation. Is the README complete? So can we get it running on our own? And doesn't it explain the features and functionality? All right, let's get started. I'm so excited for tonight. Thank you for being a part of the Midnight community, everyone. And best of luck to all of our hackers.
Yes, thank you, Lauren. So with that, let's introduce our first team, Chambros. Are you guys ready to go?
Yes, hello everyone.
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear us? Okay?
Thank you. Yes, perfect. I can hear everyone. It's just I'm here in Bali. It's totally 1 a.m. here. As you can see.
That's dedication. It's the same as called midnight in Bali. It'd be more fitting, but close enough. Close enough.
Close enough. Okay, I will start the presentation.
Hello everyone from Midnight. I'm just Mauricio. I'm recording this speech about the project I was working for this hackathon. And now I'm gonna show you what I was working on. This gonna be here. Okay, so I built this project on top of the board example that we already have in the Midnight. That was a little bit difficult to create some things implemented with the contract, but I managed to make this work in just a simple example of what we can do with face login at Midnight. Part of the flow that is just to do is just on top of the normal board example that we have. I added like a register face and a verified face login into this. Like the first time, just a proof of concept is you register your face. It's supposedly to take your photo, and then this is gonna be stored and it will be compromised in Amazon as your face embeddings. Once you have this face embedding, you can just log in again into this with a certain key, and this key is gonna be used in the smart contract Midnight to compromise if you are the person, and then do whatever action that you need to do. For example, here I already compromised my face, and then it's automatically gonna use the same ID every time I log in into this. In the same example that you can do this here all the time is just create a contract or join it. I already create a contract example on here, and then you can see the state of the contract, and you can see what, post a message or check the messages and interact with the contract normally. You too can actually introduce like another thing that can be the face URL, the face ID. So to do the example, but I didn't have too much time for this. The point of this just example was to share how we can use Midnight to log into even to use maybe Apple face recognition or different things locally, so we can prove that the person that is in the client is actually that person with the face, or maybe with some other type of connection in Apple or in Amazon, and then don't set the proof. So just send the proof to the smart contract to provide that, and then we can actually do some action with it. I think this is simple at it. I'm gonna show a little bit of the logs, and then we're gonna see the state of the contract that we have here. And you can see is the face key is kind of like the proof that we already have this. And we can have like even like I add extra stuff here in the admin to do this, and then to display the private state and the different states. So we can actually save the admin here and see how everything goes. But this is kind of like just a basic, being honest, sometimes interact with the maintainers is super slow. I try to do my best to explain how we can use this in everything else. Thank you.
Cool, awesome. Thank you, Mauricio. So now I'm going to open up to the judges for any questions they had or have.
I'm going to be asking all of the competitors pretty much the same question, which is, what are the pain points you experienced during your dApp development, and how should we prioritize improvements to Midnight tooling and the Midnight.js framework to overcome them? That's probably a long list, but if you
look, I have 10 years of development, so I've already been a developer for more than 10 years, and I learned a lot of languages like C and everything. I love to learn things, but being honest, was really difficult to code in Midnight a little bit of things. I think the autocomplete in VS Code will have it was okay, but it was really difficult to compile sometimes the smart contracts and to make it. And I would probably need more examples with, arrays, all of those things. The documentation was okay, but I would love to have more examples to try. And this, it was really difficult to fix some things in the smart contracts. I think the React components and all of the stuff was okay, but there was a lot of abstractions, but it was okay. I would say like it was comprehensible, but I feel like there is a lot of things we can improve to make this smoothly for everyone, especially developers. Yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else? We have time for one more question. So the questions are 2 minutes long. So hopefully, maybe 2 questions at most. But if not, we can move on to the next team.
I think my only one question: did you have fun?
Oh yeah, I have a lot of fun. I love the idea of just sending the proof, to the server, because I work with a lot of corporations from health and banks, and they just don't want to send all the information outside. So this is kind of like the perfect solution for them that can be applied, in banks in Peru, everywhere, that they just don't want to sell the information outside of the network because they don't want it, right? They just want to have everything in their intranet. If you send us something outside, that's not okay. So this is a really good solution that I really love it. And I just do this about the face because, I don't know, I feel like for normal people, this can be an extra way of security of things, like an ID that, a hash that can be compromised, and that can be extra step for security for everyone, just with the face.
Agree.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mauricio. Really appreciate you participating. And thank you for your presentation.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, Mauricio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was the first team done. Chambers, Mauricio there. The next one is SIG Verify, and we're going to have David on to demo his submission. David, are you there? David, can you hear us?
Actually, it's SIG Verify.
Oh, SIG Verify?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, sorry guys, SIG Verify. Are you on the call?
Where are they? Yes. Oh, sorry.
Hey, there you go.
There we are. Yeah, I just needed to be brought up. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Ledger. How are you?
I'm well. Greetings from the tech hub of the United States, rural Montana.
Nice, nice. Montana. Pretty cool. And is it 1 a.m. over there too, or not that not that late?
No, it's 10:15 a.m. Perfect. I've had my coffee. I've had some waffles for breakfast, and I'm so excited. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you to the Midnight team for purpose building the perfect blockchain for my application. I'm really excited to present it to you all, and I hope you find the value that I've seen in the, the privacy components that you've built are almost tailor built, and I've been looking for this for a long time, and now here we are, and I hope we get to become dance partners.
Perfect.
That's a good one. Then that's partners love it. Okay.
Hello, my name is David Rutledge, and I'm the founder of SigVerify. SigVerify is an enterprise-grade digital document signing platform that's being built on the Midnight Network. In 2023, Imperva reported that e-signature fraud costs $186 billion annually due to weak privacy. SigVerify addresses this issue by combining KYC and decentralized identity, along with using zero-knowledge proofs and smart contracts to ensure secure digital signatures. SigVerify not only has the ability to prove that the signer and sender are who they claim to be, it's not possible for them to be anyone else. SigVerify is HIPAA and GDPR compliant, and we also have the ability to facilitate instant settlements upon a signature on the Midnight Network or by bridging to other chains like Cardano, where we can send ADA or stablecoin. The growth potential for the digital signature market is massive. Fortune Business Insights reports that in 2025, the digital signature vertical is expected to have a $13.4 billion market capitalization. By 2033, that market cap is expected to 10x to $134.9 billion. Current digital signature platforms like DocuSign and Adobe Sign rely on public key infrastructure and centralized architectures, which can introduce vulnerabilities that exploit human behaviors. Most of these platforms only require an email and a phone number for signing up. Signatures are verified off-chain and often post-transaction, which allows for the fraud to go undetected until the damage is already done. SigVerify is in the POC phase of building. Alpha testing will come next, and our MVP will be live by Q4 of 2025. We are currently seeking partners and funding opportunities such as grants and accelerators. So if you know of someone, please reach out and let me know. Here is a look at our architecture where you can see Aaron and Charles have a contract agreement. Upon signing, a payment of $5 million will be issued to IOHK. The personally identifiable information is abstracted by using ZK snarks, and our signature verification contract will enable the payment upon a good signature. We have 3 enterprise plans. Our premium plan features tiered KYC, which can act as an access control mechanism, and we enable custom advanced workflows and payment triggers with this plan. All plans require a setup fee, and the 2 higher grade plans will also require a maintenance program. My name is David Rutledge. I'm the founder of SigVerify. Thank you very much for listening to this part of the presentation, and now we will take a look at SigVerify. Okay, let's take SigVerify for a spin. To begin, we connect to our Lace wallet. We go to the KYC and DAD page. We will fill out our KYC with our government issued ID and consent. Submit KYC to the blockchain. And then we're able to create our DAD once again on the Midnight Network. We receive our DID from the network, and then we can access the sender and the signer page. We're going to send our contract for $5 million. Type in the email. And send the contract off. The signer will receive an email directing them to the signer portal. Here they can click on the contract and view it. In the contract page or here, they'll be able to sign with their Lace wallet. We also feature an admin page that will not be accessible to all users, but enterprise administrators will have a dashboard that they can track emails out and signed, and they can also have a list of who has emails out at any given time. Thank you very much for watching my demonstration. I hope you've enjoyed our technology.
Awesome. Thank you much for that, David. Stephanie's in the chat, very proud of you as well. So that's really good to see.
Stephanie's been working hard to onboard people from other ecosystems, and it has worked very, very well. So she's one of your biggest advocates. So thank you, Steph.
Thank you, Stephanie. Stephanie's a staple in our community calls, and we really appreciate all the effort she puts into onboarding people and just getting the community up and hyped. So, judges, let's open the floor for questions. Adam, I know you've got one. Oh, Kevin, go ahead.
Yeah, I've got one. I think this is a really nice idea, David. I looked at your code, and it's got an interesting architecture. You have a lot of different contracts. Are they interacting right now through the dApp?
No, I have to tell you, I started the project with a database engineer, and he found the Midnight code components very difficult. He was on another project, so he jumped off. I have very limited developer experience. I did all of my coding with AI. I'm very proud of the fact that I created four interactive contracts. I've gotten them to compile. I had a difficult time teaching the AI to learn the compact coding language. So I found during the middle of the project, when I was doing error mitigation and testing, it actually changed my contracts to Solidity, and I had to start over. I had some other technical difficulties, but I'm very glad that you were able to actually see the contracts. They are compiled, but I did have some, being a new developer, I really appreciated the challenge. I'm fired up to get back in and do the next one, but it did create some massive headaches.
Yeah, it showed some interesting gaps in the platform too, to me. So so thank you for that.
I'd love to have an offline conversation about it. I have some really valid ideas that I think would help out.
I have a question from a commercial perspective, if that's okay, and that's why I'm here. I'm not here for the tech. I'm here for the tech, but I'm not here for the tech questions. Just to lay it out like that. I really like the product as well. Just as an FYI, I really like it. Very nice presentation. Very well done. Commercializing it. So, look, you're now basing a platform on blockchain rails, and you're competing with DocuSign and others. We're all on blockchain, so we can see the kind of like transparency of your costs, so to speak. How do you commercialize it from a revenue perspective? Revenue, just so you know, from ETH Denver as well, it's the cool new thing to have on your decentralized application. Finally, so I'd really like to get some insight into. You don't have to tell me about specifics on pricing, but how do you foresee commercializing this?
Right. Well, Nick, actually, you're throwing me a softball question. This is the easiest to answer. I have experience in 2 years of selling IT. Basically, to CIOs and COOs, you're selling an enterprise solution that they're looking for. I came from a banking background, and there is a company here in Montana that does this. And they don't use a blockchain component, and they're very limited in their vertical. And they actually have a massive reach, and they do multi-million-dollar implementations. I have a full business plan, and I have the background in business development. Basically, it starts with just doing basic business development, getting on the phone, emailing those COOs and CIOs, getting in the door. This is so scalable with the Midnight technology that by Q7 of 2027, we would expect to have between 16 to 30,000 users onboarded. And we'll do that by approaching enterprises of about 200 seats and up. However, we'll make it available to anybody at any size. This is definitely an enterprise solution. We will target high value documents that contain the PII that we obscure, and our value proposition is so robust that I think we'll have people lining up. In my current ecosystem, and just from having conversations, I have a stack of early adopters that I'm really anxious to get this built and fired off so that we can take advantage of that.
Good stuff. I'm gonna ask again, right? Look, and I think maybe you missed the point of the question, right? So because we're doing this on chain and it's transparent costing, you see, like that's because I like it. Look, I appreciate you've got a business plan for it, but the point of really what we're trying to go to is everyone can see your pricing, and maybe Midnight's opaqueness can help with that. But if people know what your transaction costs are going to be, and then they can see, okay, their product has now cost XYZ in gas fees to actually complete, how do you still maintain that commercialization of it?
Well, that's kind of baked into the pie. For example, KYC costs between $1 to $5 per person. When you talk about my costs being visible, I'm not exactly sure what you're meaning, but with my experience in selling, we would go into an environment and they would automatically have to pay $15 a seat for Microsoft Office over and above the integration price. Those are going to be pennies that these companies are going to be saving long term. A payment generally takes between a week to a month to facilitate. So if we're transacting $5 million and they can get that instantly and cut out all of the other associated fees, and they get the money instantly so they can use it, it usurps those initial transaction costs. So when you're talking about implementing something like this for a few $100,000 for enterprise, those costs are minimal. And there are some some later iteration technologies that we're going to bring that make it even more valuable. Does that answer your question, Nick?
Is there time for one more question?
Unfortunately, no. We're quite behind schedule. Sorry about that, Adam.
That's right.
Adam, I would love to answer your question offline. I'm very excited to talk to you about this.
I'll reach out if we can.
David, appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for participation. And now I believe the next team up is, let me just double check.
Is the Midnames.
Midnames. So that is Federico from Midnames. Are you there? Federico,
there you go. Hi, everybody. How are you?
We're
so
good.
To be here.
Good to have you on board.
Thank you so much for the hackathon. It was a really entertaining experience. I'm participating with Archimiro and Facundo. Archimiro, I believe, is going to be joining really soon to be able to answer perhaps the more deeply technical questions. But for me, it was also an opportunity to actually get hands-on into coding, mostly with the APIs, not with the contracts themselves. But it was a really fun experience diving around in the documentation. So I'm going to show a screen because we left the video for the last minute and Lace is not responding to us. Is there anyone out there is sending an error on the extension package manager on Chrome? Everybody's having the same problem in my team. So yeah, but I'm going to show you everything and you can try it yourself on your computer. We have a really extensive documentation for everybody to be able to easily replicate everything.
Sure, no problem.
Okay, let's go. So we are Midnames. We're trying to build decentralized identity solutions and trying to give back identity to the people. For example, in Argentina, only in the last 2 years, several ministries and public data sources have been leaked. And for example, you can find your driver's license on Telegram groups. You can send a query with your name and you receive your actual driver's license. And this is a recurring problem across the world, specifically in third world countries where perhaps cybersecurity is not yet there, but cyber attacks are advancing globally without regarding how far along are you on your cybersecurity stack. So there is also 1 billion people without actually IDs. This is according to a study about from the World Bank, and they are spending over $1 trillion every 2 years to try to solve this problem. We see a special opportunity on Midnight solution around ZK proof. First, because the ZK proof itself allows us to validate and make certain claims without revealing the data, but to be able to implement ZK proof without having to write the circuits yourself, having had some experience with circoms and whatnot, it's really lowers the barrier of entry a lot and allows us to play a lot and try to actually make things that work. Because otherwise you may spend 4 weeks building only a circuit. Here we were able to grow horizontal and build the entire system as we see it's gonna work. So for starter, I wanna show you, we built an app. So let me know if you can see here. I'm gonna show you my phone actually. So let's rerun it. So you can see the loading screen.
No, sorry, Federico, we can't see.
You can see, sorry. Ooh. Here, I'm showing on the camera. Can you see there?
Okay, now I can see.
Right, perfect. So here we are actually developing an app that can scan the NFC chip on a passport. You need to input some personal information to be able to unlock the rest of the data on the NFC chip. We handle everything. So you will input your passport number, your date of birth, be aware of the format, please, and the date of expiry of your passport. For example, I'm going to do it now with mine. And it's going to be this. Everything actually works. You can try it yourself again. It's 24. Okay, so now I'm scanning the passport. I don't know if you see, it's loading. The passport is in the back. It's scanned, and it created a credential. Everything is working local. I'm running the app through my Android Studio, but you can download the APK and just use it. As you see, I need to specify a local port, which I'm going to be connecting, which is another server we have running. And let's start diving a little bit deeper into the code. So here you're going to see different parts for a project. Again, as pretty much everybody, we build on top of the VBoard example, which is really helpful. And we try to go a little bit beyond. So you're going to have 3 main components. The local PC, you're going to find the server. What the server is going to do is going to be listening to your app. It's going to be listening to your app and forecasting to your actual app. We're going to receive it on the front end, and now I'm going to show it where. Sorry. We're going to receive it on the bulletin board, where it's going to load, actually, it's going to load all the data. Here you're going to find several test values for you to check different verifications. It's not gonna work. No, it's not gonna work. It was good to try though. But again, let me show you the contract so you can see what we can do. So here you're gonna have different circuits to validate information we think is important on chain. For starter, being able to gather this data, this actually has a public key, so you could authenticate, not yet with the functions available on Compat, but you could authenticate that this data comes from an actual passport emitted by an actual country, and it's cryptographically verifiable. So having that information and being able to store it locally, but proving it was emitted by a country, which would be interesting to have on-chain for businesses that are already building on Midnight. For starter, it's a proof of personhood. Whatnot, it's like a low barrier proof of personhood, but still better than most decentralized solutions we have. Then we are going to have a witness with the passport data. And then we're going to have 3 circuits we are working for now. Validate nationality. This validates that for testing purposes that it is or is not Argentinian. It could be testing if it's not within a list of forbidden countries. Validates adulthood. It checks it's over 18 years old, so you can demonstrate all of this without revealing your data, and proves that the passport is unexpired. all these proofs, again, you're going to be able to generate them on your front end here and be able to interact and create different certifications. I invite you to test the different test cases. We're really, let me get back here. We're really excited about Compact. You can check again the witness, and you have on top the folder, the, how do you say it? The app code. Let me show you just one more thing. You're going to have here the documentation in the README where you can check everything, how to run it, like different problems we found while trying to run it and how did we solve it, different advices on how to dealing with Compact, particularly with the proof server. For example, our devs were working on DevNet, but I was working on testnet, and the testnet proof server, you need to restart it every now and then for it to work if you want to be compiling the circuits every time. So, yep, that's pretty much. We see a really actual use case. We invite everybody to actually try it. It's something you can already kind of start to implement in your own projects if you want. It actually works. It brings passport data. As Midnight starts to implement more native cryptographic functionalities, we would love to be the base, and you can actually verify that this is part of the mission and start to build like a cumulative ways to prove your identity. Perhaps you can also generate proofs that you're interacting with another services. And being an emitter, this ideally is going to work on a DID system. You can actually emit your own certifications. For example, you have different apps and you want to do KYC only once. You can emit to your users a local KYC certificate emitted by you, verifiable cryptographically without revealing any data. And we're really close with seeing that within the next 4 or 5 months, we can have like something robust and actually working, and way sooner, different MVPs that people can start to play and try on while they're building their projects.
Perfect. Thank you very much for that, Federico. Judges, questions?
I'm going to ask that same question. I'm going to jump in. Sorry, Kevin, I know you raised your hand. Apologies. What are the pain points you experienced during your dApp development, and how should we prioritize improvements to Midnight tooling and the Midnight.js framework to overcome them?
I think like the links referencing the different things you need to set up your environment and how to handle and different errors. After you found the error like the 20th time, you know what it is, but sometimes like it happened to me that been like for 5 hours changing here and there. And for example, when I wanted to download Lace, I thought I was going crazy because the link it sends in the release notes doesn't actually gives you anything about downloading Lace. I found a lost link within the GitHub that allowed me to get to the place I needed to be to download. But it was kind of, and also for testing, I think like a remix-like interface would be amazing, so you can rapidly test on the browser, different circuits and whatnot, and perhaps that would move the development cycle, speed up the development cycle, especially now that you have AI to help you. Like if you are able to speed up the part that's not depending on the developer, but on every single compiler, being testing and whatnot, you're going to be able to bring a lot more people within the ecosystem, I think.
No, thank you very much. Yes.
Kevin, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say first that this is an awesome idea. This is very cool. I really want to see this kind of mobile dApp succeed. My understanding is that you need to have a trusted PC or a server somewhere that's actually running the dApp. Can you speculate a little bit about what it would take to remove that trusted component so that you could actually run everything on the mobile device?
That would be amazing. Like we actually wonder if the proof server could run mobile. We know it cannot yet. We would love to be part of making that happen. Like our background is building developer toolings on non-EVM ecosystems. So I don't know, we work on Till when it was assembly-like algorithm, like long before Python. So we know how to run things, and we think it's going to be amazing, and the potential, like already, because we already connected it from the dApp to my PC. I don't need to connect to any trusted server by myself. We think like that's already really powerful starting point. It's amazing what you are doing.
Thanks for that.
Thank you, Federico. Really appreciate you taking part. And yeah, a really cool idea. I agree with Kevin. Thank you.
Actually, once you sorted the Lace video, once you sort the Lace wallet, we'd like to see the video how it actually work after that. So.
Oh yeah, please. I'm gonna spend the night editing. If we get Lace to work today, I promise I'm gonna be as long as it takes to make the video and send it.
Absolutely.
Now the stress, like my teammates have been suffering me like for the last 3 hours, screaming, crying. No, it's not working. How do I do it?
Once it does, yeah, please make a recording and send us to the community to showcase how it actually would work. Good job. Great job.
Thank you, Federico. Okay, so up next is Johnny with Enterprise ZK. Johnny, are you there?
I am. Hello. How is everybody?
Good, good. How are you?
Great.
Great to see you. It's a privilege to be here with such incredible devs. This is such good stuff already.
Well, thank you for participating. We really appreciate it. Okay. Ivan, when you're ready.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Santi, representing Enterprise ZK Labs to present Sentinel DID, a decentralized digital identity solution for emergency response management. Privacy-preserving digital identity, or DIDs, are something that I'm extremely passionate about. I fell in love with blockchain 3.5 years ago with its promise of financial autonomy and equity for users. I thought it had an incredible amount of potential, but its innate transparency limited its real-world functionality for modern businesses. Even a small church requires privacy, as private information about congregants cannot be made public, and there are very strict laws about protecting user privacy. About a year ago, Charles Hoskinson introduced the world to Midnight, a selective privacy protocol leveraging ZK-proof technology to communicate with a selective privacy layer. We can prove facts about this hidden information without revealing it. This amazing protocol just needed one last element to give us the ability to recreate any digital system: privacy-preserving digital identity. Privacy-preserving digital identity has profound implications for reimagining enterprise corporate digital systems, such as real-world asset tokenization, micropayments for both decentralized systems and LLM training, supply chain protocols, healthcare, voting, and of course, decentralized finance, which places the power back in the hands of the user, giving them financial autonomy over their funds and transactions. Sentinel DID is a decentralized identity protocol that's simple yet powerful, built from the ground up with Midnight blockchain at its backbone. Common proof identity today is broken. Anyone who's ever had to shout their private information in a public setting can attest to this. Standing at the doctor's office, you're asked, "What is your social security number?" Your name, your phone number, who's listening when you're speaking, who's watching when the information's being entered, and who has access to your precious private information afterwards, and for how long. Centralized systems hoard our data, leaving us vulnerable. Sentinel DID fixes that with one elegant idea. With a single cryptographic hash based on user KYC, we add biometric variations, which create a series of digital identity NFTs that allow us to confirm provable ownership over that KYC, which is extremely resistant to forgery and instantly verifiable by creating the hash in real time at time of verification. Sentinel DID security and privacy is where Midnight shine. To mint a DID, you add your biometric to the base NFT that you present as yours. Only the biometrics of the true owner will reproduce one of the identity variation DID NFT outputs that exist, stopping fraudsters cold. This isn't just tech, it's a vital, practical solution with real-world resilience. I've created this protocol with a specific use case in mind, the Sentinel DID protocol, an AI-assisted emergency response management protocol with digital identity backbone built on Midnight blockchain. In emergencies, fires, floods, earthquakes, and other crises, every second counts. Identity verification needs to be fast, secure, and flexible. Emergency workforces need to be mobilized and organized quickly. They need uninterrupted communication, real-time tracking, and easily buildable and scalable workforce organization and delegation in a fluid environment where superiors and workforce are on scene, while others are leaving throughout the duration. Never wonder who's in charge, where an individual is supposed to be or is. With Starlink and World Mobile integration in tandem with smartphones or proprietary Sentinel DID devices, no one gets left behind. When victims are found, the closest to them can be alerted as well as the chain of command. Gone are the days of searching for someone who's already been found. Workforces are taken out of harm's way or redirected to new victims in real time, all while preserving the identity of the victims, whether alive or otherwise. My groundbreaking downman switch alerts superiors and teams if a team member or volunteer is unresponsive or loses contact. We're reimagining emergency response, secure, private, fluid. It's not just a protocol, it's a lifeline when chaos strikes. Thank you. I'm excited to take your questions.
Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you.
Now let's open up the floor for judges' questions. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, another cool idea. I took a look at your code, Johnny, and it looks like you have or are using a Midnight CLI tool that can possibly compile contracts, deploy them, and issue transactions. Is this a real thing that exists, or is this something that you're speculating that will exist?
I looked up the link for the CLI, and it was a broken link.
Okay.
So I assume that it's something that's going to come. So I was trying to build around that.
Yeah. So my actual question is, what would you speculate that you would want in such a tool?
Oh goodness. You know, I am a novice dev, and my technical my CTO is AI at this point, and I am doing the best that I can to get my education up to par. I was pretty thrilled with what I was able to accomplish, getting the form fillable and getting it to open the the Lace Midnight wallet, and be able to aggregate some information to the bottom of my form from the proof server, and the interactions with the wallet is as far as I got. I really wanted to get the contract implemented, and I just ran out of time.
That's a fine answer. We do want to support novice devs, so thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, great job, Johnny. Sorry. Finally, we're able to see you. I just have a quick question. Imagine your application or a dApp is actually alive and it's working, but many emergency responses operations involves high-risk zones, let's say war zones, disaster areas like tsunamis and more. How does Sentinel did verification remain robust even if there was limited or no internet connectivity at all? How would you imagine the functionality?
That was a huge issue when I was kind of theoretically designing this. So what I wanted to do was use Starlink for uninterruptible internet, and then use World Mobile locally. So basically, the integration of Starlink and World Mobile, you know, they could deploy the balloons for a localized cell phone service, and then that would be linked through Starlink. And that was where you saw the police cruiser with the blimp in the background, and they had the dish on top.
Mm-hmm.
And that way we have our own kind of integrated little internet system that's kind of impervious, because obviously if there's a disaster, utilities will be down. And I thought that was a really cool way to do it. And then I was also hoping that somehow we could, in the Starlink setup, that perhaps a large part of the LLM that's going to be handling the interactions and the updates for the delegation and hierarchy schema could be locally held at the main unit that's transmitting this to Starlink. So if there is a break, the entire system doesn't break down, and we can have as much locally as possible that could still be transmitted through the World Mobile schema.
Awesome. Adam, go on.
Yep, I just wanted to say I really appreciate this and the effort that you're putting into this, and it's good to see people with different abilities coming in and trying to do this. And I was wondering, is there stuff that we could do better to make that journey that you're on to get this stuff done easier?
I have a small list.
Hey, you know, that's why I'm here. I mean, this is why I'm judging today, is I want to kind of reach out and get become aware to the community who I am. And we really do want to kind of start really putting a lot of energy into making this easier for you and making your life easier, with executing on these ideas. So yeah, if you got that list, it's big, small, just send it through, and let's talk.
So there's so many great things that you guys have created already, and you're constantly banging out new versions, which is fantastic. So better tooling for AI training. So having some documentation that's concise and AI friendly to drop into the LLMs for assistance. Clearly commentating on deprecated versions of the examples, the different parts of them, and also maybe a little warning about the new versions that aren't quite yet stable, and then also any education I'm really looking forward to Eda Labs and Eric and his team coming up with some stuff. But I'd love to be part of a pioneer program. And this is all I want to do. This is all I think about for the last year since it came out, you know, and then 3.5 years in Cardano.
Thank you, Johnny. We appreciate you taking part. And thank you for jumping on.
Thanks so much.
No problem. Okay, the next team is the first team to have more than one presenter, so that's going to be cool. Fairway, are you guys there?
Yes, hey.
Hey, Hickey.
Actually, Henrik can't make it to the stream, but he's on the video at least.
Okay, no problem. That's no problem at all. That's absolutely fine.
Hi, I'm Henrik, and I'm here with my co-founder Heikki, presenting Fairway. So Fairway is a startup working on professional identity and workforce mobility, starting from Africa and first from Ethiopia. So we are working on a Catalyst-funded project to integrate Ethiopian FIDA national ID to Cardano through Identus self-sovereign identity. This is an ongoing project. We have no announcements yet. We are pretty optimistic about it, but this is all hypothetical. Our technology stack is to utilize Identus, formerly known as Atala Prism, Midnight, and then Cardano. So the problem, stablecoins and identity don't mix. Current stablecoin providers such as Circle with USDC, they create a blacklist of accounts which are not allowed to transact USDC, but this is not tied to any real identity, and also this is a centralized way to do it. So we are proposing something different here. We propose to take this Ethiopian national ID and create a stablecoin in Ethiopia that only verified Ethiopian wallets could receive. And we would do this with Midnight and Identus together. And this is, of course, a system that would scale all those 70 million potential users in the future that are in Ethiopia as well. So how it works is that users hold the national ID verifiable credential on Fairway wallet, and then we use Midnight to create a zero-knowledge proof of Ethiopian nationality within the wallet. And this proof will then be turned into Solban token on their Lace wallet, which will act as an access to stablecoin system. So we are proposing a completely new type of privacy-preserving and regulatory compliant stablecoin to Ethiopia utilizing this national ID. So we can create a stablecoin smart contract utilizing Cardano's ZIP113 auxiliary data fields or ERC20 standard, and make it so that when there's an asset is sent, the contract checks whether the user has an Ethiopian national ID verified or not, and based on that allows or rejects the transaction. In a dream scenario in the future when we have our mobile app wallet, this is how it works. The user accesses the Ethiopian stablecoin, authorizes the Midnight dApp, issues the access token as a Solban token, and then can start transacting and using ATB stablecoin. Where we are now is this hackathon beta and with experimenting with ZIP113 auxiliary data. In the future, we want to do more regulatory engagement and also expand this to other use cases around it like remittance and payroll, and of course scale outside of Ethiopia as well, and actually use it in global regulated DeFi. So now I let my co-founder Heikki to explain what did we actually do during this hackathon.
As a summary, what we built for the hackathon is a zero-knowledge proof system that verifies the FIDA credentials, checks issuer, DID, and cryptographic signature. It creates a privacy proof stating that, okay, this DID holder is an Ethiopian national. And out of this zero-knowledge proof, it is being minted into the Solban token as a proof of Ethiopian nationality and given to the Lace wallet. Of course, the minting and the Solban token is a mock-in kind of a process because there is no current Solban system in Cardano yet. We started with creating a dApp for our system that works as a standalone and interacts with local Midnight node. And from there, we created similar to the other Midnight examples, a command line interface to discuss with Midnight Lace wallet and Midnight network, the testnet, and from there, because of the time pressure, we created bridge server to simply connect these two. Now I'll demonstrate through our UI what we built. Of course, there's a lot of debugging tools and so on, so don't mind them. This, you authorize your place wallet, then you can see your own simple verifiable credential here. You connect the wallet where the soulbound token is supposed to be going, generate proof of nationality, and create a soulbound token out of this. And it will put on the metadata of the soulbound token the issuer public key, issuer DID, subject DID, verification result, verification timestamp, and proof protocol, as well as the type of soulbound token. Then you're ready to use the Ethiopian stable coin. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Really good demo there. And judges, questions?
Hey, well, first, I wanted to say I love the idea. I think it's amazing. And I had a little question about the initial credential that ensures Ethiopian nationality or in general the identity of the user. I saw in the code that you are using Ethiopian nationality credential, a structure that is in compact. And I wanted to ask is there already an issuer like an authority in Ethiopia that generates a certificate that it's easily that you can integrate easily here, or are you envisioning the need for some piece that changes this certificate into a certificate that you can use inside the circuit, inside the compact?
Right now we are discussing with a certain Ethiopian government agency that we can enable this kind of verification. They would be having this kind of enterprise private company that would do the actual issuing of the credential based on the national identity verification. So there would be happening a real kind of a strong authentication within Ethiopia, and based on that issued a verifiable credential in this kind of Identitus SSI framework.
Okay, cool. That makes sense. Thank you.
Adam, I know you want to ask it. Go ahead.
Hey, you know the question that's coming, which is, how can we make your life easier?
All right. I think the big question is that, like, for example, in the examples, a lot of the examples are using, like, they have standalone and the testnet like versions inside the same example. So it's quite confusing to sometimes like configure like how they're working together. I think they should be like separate examples on what is being deployed on the standalone version and what's on testnet.
Right, because it's one of those things we recognize that the examples aren't the best thing. I mean, downloading a zip in this day and age isn't ideal. You should be able to clone repos and just pull down a template and get started straight away. So but thank you. By the way, really enjoyed the idea. Really did think it's good.
Well done, guys.
Thank you, Hickey. And some of the socials for Fairway flashed on the screen, so please do go follow them, check them out, show your support. We're all one big community here, so there we go. Fairway.global. Go visit and learn more.
Or join our Discord community, and I'm sure Heikki will help to answer all the questions and share all the socials as well too.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, so up next is Eric Romero from Eda Labs, another staple in our community. How are you doing, Eric? Oh, Eric and Tanya. So we are.
Hello, from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Nice, lovely. How are you guys doing today?
We are good, Ahmed. Thank you. I think we can start with a video and then.
Hello,
Yes.
Midnight
Yes.
community.
Question.
I'm Taina, part of
guys.
EdaLabs team, together with Eric. At EdaLabs, we focused on building tooling and SDKs, as well as education, making developing in blockchain accessible for everyone. For this ZK Identity Hackathon, we decided to develop a real estate auction platform. It is a real-world use case where identity verification is critical. Using deeds and zero-knowledge proofs, we ensure that only compliant users can make bids without revealing any sensitive data. All the features on this platform were implemented by using 2 smart contracts. With the token smart contract, users can mint the bid, which is the token required to participate in auctions and make bids. Every time you mint a bid, you have to pay T-Dust, which goes to a treasury that is managed by the platform owner. The owner can manage the funds and withdraw this at any time. The auction smart contract features will be showcased during the demo, but I'd like to highlight one of them, which is authentication, identity validation, and revocation mechanisms. We are checking for 4 properties, which is AML compliance, jurisdiction, age, and also the ownership of the certificates are controlled by the coin public key. And the last but not least, we've put a lot of effort into building an intuitive and user-friendly design. Toaster messages were implemented to keep users updated through all interactions. So, without further ado, let's check the demo.
Wow, that was a lot of features implemented in the auction platform. But we don't want to stop just there. There's a lot of feature enhancements that we have in our roadmap, and we will implement them as soon as those features become available, such as notion of time within compact, cross-contract communication capabilities, recursive zero knowledge that will allow us to communicate between blockchains, metadata within NFTs, that's a big topic, dApp connector API improvements for native digital signatures capabilities and transaction building capabilities, and also create some public token framework as MIPS. So now let's discuss the core architecture pillars that were taken into consideration for designing the smart contracts and how the different stakeholders communicate between each other. One of the pillars is interoperability. We wanted to make sure that different identity frameworks can coexist between each other and be able to communicate with Midnight smart contracts. Another pillar is reliability. So we wanted to make sure that none of the critical functionalities of those identity frameworks were lost during the implementation and cross-communication. Having a robust revocation mechanism was the foundation for pillar number 3, and it was also responsible on the decision that was taken for designing pillar number 4 and 5, which are digital signatures and cross-contract communication. Existing compact cryptographic primitives allows for digital signatures implementation. Nevertheless, interoperability between different elliptic curves should be taken in consideration. We have divided our development process in 4 phases, which will set the foundation for keep building the Midnight Mesh SDK. The goal of the SDK is to promote collaboration and lower the barriers for new developers that want to start building on Midnight. One of the use cases of the SDK which allow developers to implement Midnight smart contracts by just knowing basic React. Just grab some provider, some hooks, know your business logic, and that's it. This was published on X, which had a huge engagement. Thank you all. See you next time.
Okay, another great presentation from Ada Labs, as we have come to expect. Judges?
Yeah, your system relies on certificate hashes to validate identity. How do you guys actually prevent replay attacks where, for example, an old valid certificate could be used by unauthorized entry?
Okay, that's yeah, Vera, that was a really nice one, and that's one of the pillars that we took in consideration, that it's revocation, right? So that's why we didn't use digital signatures in the first place within the circuits, because if something happens, you cannot revoke that access, right? So for revocation, we thought about cross contract communication. That feature is not available yet. So the way we implemented right now in phase one was giving that power to an administrator who can check the hashes, right? By looking at the issuer database at this moment. In the future, it's going to be a smart contract, and they can check if that's okay, and it approves the hashes, right? If something happens with that hash, the user can communicate with the issuer, and then the administrator can revoke that hash within the smart contract, and then future access are not allowed.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hi, Eric. Oh, go on, Kevin. You go first. You had your hand up.
Yeah. This won't even be a question anymore because I think you've already just answered it. But I was very impressed that I took a look at your code and I saw the places where you had marked that you would use cross-contract calls rather than relying on something that was done off-chain. And I thought that was really kind of nice.
Thank you, Kevin.
Adam, I know you're going to ask your question. Can I get in there very, very quickly? Just with
go for
it. Eric and Taina, nice to meet you. I was the one that you thought might have been scamming you, by the way, but it was me who added you on Twitter from the commercial team. So nice to meet you in person. No, I really like it. Obviously, this is a ZK Identity Challenge. Did you give any thoughts to having also the actual auction process as ZK proofs so that you can have, I think it's called like a Dutch auction. No one knows exactly what the top price is, but you only know if your bid is the highest amount?
Yeah, it's we actually implemented that within the smart contract, right? We showed what is the highest bid, and we just wanted to leave we implemented a treasury system within the smart contract, and for new bids that are higher than the previous highest bid, actually that amount from the previous bidder, it goes back to their wallet. So the smart contract doesn't actually hold funds from other users. It just holds funds from one user only, right? And one thing that it's we thought it's really nice, and we put it on the presentation, that it's NFTs. That is going to be really nice because right now the highest bid, when the administrator closes the smart contract, that amount, it goes back to the administrator, and the administrator decides what to do with the money, right? At the end, everybody trusts the administrator, but it would be nice to have an NFT that can be implemented within Midnight already, but including a metadata. It actually involves other use cases, and recursive zero knowledge. Also, we can communicate with Cardano and create NFT over there as well.
Amazing.
Hi, Eric. It's nice to finally see your face. I have to say I'm really, really impressed, and I do like the fact that you're doing that level of abstraction as well around the SDK to make life easier for developers. You know, I'm going to ask that same question I've asked everybody: is how can we make your life easier? You know, what is it that we could improve in the way we're doing things?
Well, Adam, that's a really nice question, and we actually had that conversation before, right? And the way we plan to improve developers' life and Midnight's life as well, right? It's by we're in the process of creating this mesh SDK that abstracts what Midnight JS already offers, which is really nice. But sometimes you have a trade-off between how much abstraction and flexibility you have within an SDK. So we on the presentation we presented these 4 phases. That's the way we want to structure the SDK, so that developers that are more into Midnight and know how to use it, they can start with phase number 1, and they have more flexibility how to implement the other phases. But if the developer, business developer, the way I call it, just want to grab something, providers and hooks, and just implement something that they need for their businesses, they actually can do it without knowing anything about Midnight, just what smart contract they need for their business case. And one really nice idea that we have already implemented within Mesh in Cardano, and we are with cross communication, is going to be really nice to implement it Midnight. It's kind of modular contracts. So in that way, you have these providers, and then you can mix them the way you want and create your application right away.
I like the idea of that plug-in sort of architecture. That's really good. I like the way you go working on this. Keep putting that energy in there. Love it.
Thank you, Adam.
Well, thank you, Ada Labs. Really interesting project to see that, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon as well. And now it's time for the defending champions, the winners from last hackathon. Last but not least, Brick Towers, are you there?
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
There they are.
Sergey and Imans. How are you doing, guys?
Very good, thanks.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Hello, everyone. My name is Imans, and welcome to the Identity Hackathon by Brick Towers. You might remember us as the winners of the previous hackathon. We're super delighted that people have found our code useful and are using it in their applications. We are a company in Zug, Switzerland, focusing on software and financial engineering. We run staking as a service for fun and profit, and looking forward to run our Midnight validator. In the meanwhile, we're building our herbal product. You can go and check it out on our website. Our team for the hackathon is me, Imans, and Sergey. We have implemented a zero-knowledge-based solution to a classical problem of oversharing private data in the web shops. We have focused on a good and nice user experience, and most importantly, security, which is signature verification in this case. The solution implements a two-way transaction where customer provides order details, money, and age proof, and then the shop fulfills the order by delivering the goods. So let's have a look at our demo. So this is a situation where only wallet is connected. So there is no identity which can be verified. So the order is being rejected. You could then go to an identity provider website and obtain digitally signed verifiable credentials, which are then stored in the private state in the browser. And now when you order again, then the credentials are verified. And this time we find out that we're not old enough. And when we repeat the process with a slightly older person who is over 21 years old, then we can go back to the site and order some wine. Some of the other features here are that we're providing the user feedback on things that are going on, and obviously you pay in TBTC, the Brick Towers coin. And voila, enjoy your wine. So behind the scenes in the ordering process, it starts with buyer sending the order details over a private channel to the shop. And then the contract takes care of the rest of validating the order, the identity, and the amounts. And if everything succeeds, then creating a transaction on the ledger. And on the other hand, the shop owner can monitor the ledger and see that if there is an order, that it is valid, there is the right amount of money attached to it, and the user's age was verified by a trusted authority. So now they just need to fulfill the deal. In the middle, the identity verification is a classic system where you upload your ID and proof of life video, and you get back assigned verifiable credentials, which associates this with your wallet address. We needed to implement one more workaround since Midnight Lace Wallet doesn't allow signing messages. We generate a new signing key pair and link it with the wallet public key on the public ledger. A better solution would be if the wallet provided functionality for message signing. And we skipped implementing some of the alternative solutions which we considered, like generating the keys directly from the seed phrase. The highlight on the technical side is the algorithms for elliptic curve-based message signing and verification. And then we added some functionality for tying everything together and really focused on getting the feedback on what's going on. Our journey was littered with midnight bugs, which prevented us from deploying this on testnet. So we're looking forward to fixes to those, and some of the features would be nice to have, but we found the solutions for now. Thank you very much, and go and check out our GitHub repository.
Very nice, very nice. Another nice submission by Brick Towers. And now for the final time today, judges, questions? Kevin, go ahead.
Yeah, I apologize for all the bugs you're stumbling upon. You're clearly pushing the platform as far as it can be. I did take a look at your code, and I saw how you used compact modules, and I thought that was really nice. We're trying to favor composition over inheritance in compact, and I just wondered if you could say a little bit about what it was like to use that and what's missing.
Yeah, so I mean, it's nice to have modules that you can really organize your code well. So no issues with modules whatsoever. Works really nicely, and the functions we implemented there, basically the pure circuits, are reusable. We can use them in other projects afterwards. Yeah, the challenges were with the bug mostly about this field overflow not being handled correctly. Which causes the troubles for the signature verification algorithm. But the code is there, so we're looking for the fix, and then let's hope we can deploy it to testnet.
Thanks.
Adam, go on.
Hey, well, I was going to say that last slide that you showed. I'm sure there's probably a much longer list and of things that you'd like us to improve and sort of work on. So yeah, if you could possibly pass that on to myself or through the team. Yeah, what we're trying to say is we're listening. We're aware that it can be quite painful sometimes with some of this stuff, and we're trying to help you as much as we can to accelerate what you're doing and execute in this space. So yeah, so please just reach out, tell us what your issues are, and we'll try and get some energy and effort put into that.
Yeah, we're trying our best to give you the good feedback. So
just pushing the edge, push the limits of what can be done, and really hurt us. It's the only way to get better.
And in fact, we're already getting that support from the DevRel team, and we really appreciate that help. So we get some bugs already fixed. So actually, our sea battle game is finally back and on the new testnet too. So we also invite to play that, who couldn't do that before.
Yeah, and then it would be nice to have really signature verification algorithms as standard library or additional libraries already from Midnight as basic building blocks. I think could be very useful for lots of people who tried to do the identity-related things in this hackathon.
We'll be sure to add that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Any more questions from judges, or was that it? That's it? Okay, cool. Perfect. Thank you, Brick Towers. That concludes today's hackathon pitches. I just want to say I am very, very glad I'm not a judge. So judges, tough luck. They'll be counting up the scores over the weekend, checking out the code, going through.
Oh my God. Can't wait.
Yep. And we have Claude as well, don't forget. So Claude will be rewatching the stream and he'll be telling up his score. And then we will announce the winners on Monday. And just to go back and confirm, there are 3 winners, first, second, and third place. First place is $4,000 worth of ADA. Second place is $2,000 worth of ADA. And third place is $1,000 worth of ADA. I also want to say thank you for everyone for participating and for watching and just for taking part. This is a very big community effort. So the people who have participated or the people who have joined or just helped on Discord or just left a YouTube comment, wherever it may be, thank you. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. I feel like, so last hackathon we had 4 submissions. We have 8 this time. Let's aim for 16. let's keep going up. And we'll have to figure out a way to maybe make these presentations a bit more interactive or shorten them down somehow without losing the quality. But that's on me and the team to come up with that. But thank you again to the community. Really do appreciate it. And I want to end off by saying, please don't forget the new AMM hackathon will be live on Monday. So you can go and check out. There's a barcode. Go scan that. You can't register just yet, but go check it out. Get the ideas flowing, and then we will kick off the hackathon on Monday with a Discord call. So make sure to check in for that too. Final time, thank you, judges. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, we will see you next time.
Absolutely. And yeah, just a reminder as well to everyone watching, whether you are a builder or just started as a developer, or you're just here to learn, this doesn't end here. Midnight is growing and there is so much more to come. So as always, stay connected, join the community, follow on us on social media channels, and especially the community is super supportive. There are a lot of developers in various levels that helping each other. So there's always a topic on conversation going all the time. And if today's pitches inspire you, maybe you'll be the one present in a future hackathon. So I can't wait to see. And definitely, yeah, there's a lot of work during the weekend. And if you still have any questions to our participants today, again, join the community and make sure to follow them on social media channels. And yeah, stay hydrated. Have a nice weekend and see you all next week.